We all do it. Come on now. Don't try to hide it. You know what I'm talking about. Fidgeting. So are you or somebody you know a chronic fidgeter? If so, this video is for you. So with the advent of 3D printing, a lot of these different little fidget toys have come on the market lately. Some of them you can print for free, some of them you can buy. They're made with various different techniques, but a lot of them center around the concept of being able to spin something in your hand. And this is really familiar to somebody like myself because I have a tendency to pick up small objects and spin them between my fingers like this, and I'll even pick up another one and spin it in my other hand depending on if I'm typing or using a mouse with one hand or otherwise occupied. So I tried some of these so-called fidget spinners that are available out there, and an issue that I had with them, most of them, they were just big and bulky, and they require these special roller skate bearings that are kind of not really expensive, but it's something extra that you got to get to add to it to make it work. And what I found when I was playing with it was I didn't feel like the bearings were really doing a whole lot for me. So I set out to make my own fidget design, and I think I came up with something pretty good. What I'm going to show you is some of my various iterations along the way to get there. So what I set out to do was I wanted to come up with something that you could hold in your hand and spin and fidget with comfortably for long periods of time, and it would just spin naturally in your hand and not have to use two hands to fling it with one. Anyway, so my first prototype was just basically this sort of softened rectangle, and I put dimples in the sides so that your fingers just kind of hold it there without the need for any kind of a bearing of any kind. And what I did was I said, this one's a little bit too thick. I thinned it down a little bit. These edges were hitting my finger as I flipped around like that, and so I added a little bit of a concavity to it there, so the shape just feels right. And then I started experimenting with texturizing it and things like this until I finally came up with the final design, which this is sort of meant to feel like just like a stone or a piece of some natural material that's been weathered into this, just happens to be weathered into this perfect shape for fidgeting with. So it fits just perfectly between the fingers, and it's super easy and smooth to just flip, and spin like this for hours upon hours. And when I'm, I don't know about you, but when I'm working real hard, jacked up on caffeine, coding or studying or something like that, I'll get real fidgety. And everybody has their own different, some people bite their nails, or some people like twist their hair, so like that. For me, personally, when I get real fidgety, I pick my hair, and I get little bald spots. And so having one of these handy is really great to keep my hand occupied so I don't pick. And these things are super easy to print. This one I did different layers, just randomly changed materials as I went along. This is PLA plus, wood fill, magnetic iron, and a couple more types of colors of PLA plus, all laminated together. It gives it kind of like that laminated wood look. And these, if you're not switching filaments or whatnot, they only take about a half an hour to print. Now, depending on your preferences, you may find that this is a little bit lightweight. So this one here, buddy of mine printed for me. This one's filled with BBs. So the great thing about this design is that because it doesn't necessarily require any infill, You can either add as much infill as you want to make it a little bit heavier, which works particularly well if you're using a heavy filament like an iron fill or a metal filled filament. But if you don't have that and you don't mind the sound, BBs make a great fill. Just pour them in there right before the printer reaches the top and closes over the top of it. Or you could fill it with epoxy or sand or whatever you want. So this has a nice jingle, and it has, I really actually like the way this one has a really solid weight, solid feel to it. It's like picking up a rock, which is exactly the kind of thing I was going for. The only issue is obviously it's a little bit noisy, but I really like to make these out of organic type filaments such as wood fill. The feel of it when you make it out of wood and then you sand it down nice and smooth, or even with the iron fill and give it a good sanding, it has just that really smooth natural feel, and it doesn't feel like you're fidgeting with a piece of plastic. It feels like a piece of stone or wood or something more natural, like you would naturally fidget with. And for me that's really important because I tend to have sweaty hands, and when I fidget with plastic stuff, it just gets sort of sweaty and... Okay, so while I've got you here, I wanted to show you this other fidget stone that I made, based off the design but modified just slightly. Instead of having the two indentations in the middle so you can spin it, it's just got one sort of thumb-size indentation on the side, so you can just sort of thumb it, like a worry stone. Same as the other Fidget, doesn't require any special anything. Anybody can print one of these today. So you got nothing to lose by giving it a try. Print one for yourself, or send in a 3D Hubs order and have someone print one for you. So yeah, for more information, check out Thingiverse. I'll post a link on here so you can download and print one for yourself. And if you like this design, you might want to check out some of my other designs. Keep watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. And most importantly, comment, because that's how YouTube is ranking their videos now on engagement. So tell me what you like about my design, or tell me what you hate about it, or tell me how. So anyway, that's all for this episode, and I'll see you next time.